now, coming up, what is the current situation of the income gap in Malaysia? TULC News brings you more. A global issue on its own, income inequality is an ongoing crisis all over the world, including Malaysia. It refers to the unequal distribution of money and opportunity amongst various groups. It impacts us in many ways, such as building stress, a sense of hopelessness, and the rich get richer while the poor get poorer. We can see many correlations with income inequality, such as how it affects inflation, unemployment, interest rates, and the confidence of households and firms in the economy. A research conducted by a team of 15 brilliant Taylor's University students provides a deeper understanding of the effects on the income gap of the economy, particularly that of Malaysians. The TULC team brings you more.
10% of the global population shares approximately 52% of the global income, while the bottom half of the population gets a mere 8%. On average, an individual in the top 10% of global earners makes $120,000 per annum, whereas an individual from the bottom end of global earners shockingly makes $4,000 only. Global multi-millionaires have been getting an unreasonable share of global wealth over the last 30 years. The top 1% took 38% of all wealth generated, while the bottom 50% took just 2% of it. As formerly stated, inequality is a political choice, not an inevitable. Income inequality has risen everywhere from the last 40 years. The rise is not globally uniform. Some countries are far more unequal than others.
Can you incorporate the philosophy of Sejahtera in reducing the income inequality in Malaysia?
The concept of Sejahtera could be reviewed for the purpose of developing a sustainable economy. It acts as a central role in constructing, nurturing, and maintaining a balanced life. A lot of people struggle with food insecurity and many more issues due to income inequality. If measures are taken to improve the economy by referring to the philosophy of Sejahtera, the issue of income inequality could be addressed in a proper manner and effective decisions taken to reduce the gap between rich and poor.
100 responses are survey received. Majority of respondees, accurately 89%, believes that there is currently a noticeable gap in the wealth and income distribution in Malaysia. We can see this in our graph here. As the positive skew indicates, a majority of people believe that there is currently a wealth inequality in Malaysia.
In the existence of an income gap in Malaysia, the primary objective of our research is to raise awareness regarding the issues of wealth inequality currently faced globally. With a deeper focus on Malaysians, we have provided a framework of possible solutions to patch the current gap and create opportunity for readers to be inspired and construct their own ideas to help ease inequality in Malaysia. In order to gather all the relevant data needed, we have conducted an online survey of 11 questions to garner information from Malaysians with first-hand experience of economic inequality in this country. Our 100 respondents all came from various different occupations and financial backgrounds, which makes the opinions we received quite diverse. This gives us a closer look at what the general public thinks of the situation of income inequality in Malaysia. Let's look at what we found from our responses. Alright, as you guys can see here, 78% of the respondents agreed that the reduction of income gap must be top priority for the government.
Now, from this figure, we can see that there are mixed opinions on the existing tax scheme in Malaysia. Alright, and interestingly enough, as you can see here, there is a noticeable divide on whether respondents would hypothetically be willing to pay higher tax rates. As you can see, 51% of the respondents agreed that we should increase the tax rate, while a staggering 49% disagrees with the statement. To mixed responses or more progressive tax brackets, respondents look to alternative approaches to possibly reduce income and wealth inequality. Alright, so first off, as you can see here, 23% suggested sticking to education reform, a scheme that Malaysia has been following for a while. And approximately 20% of its annual budget is reserved for education. Now moving on, 37% propose a more well-designed labour market, which can be done by improving labour productivity and creating more job skills. To improve these categories, it is crucial to consider this goal with that of education reform to create a well-equipped labour force for the future. Now, 31% call for stricter anti-discrimination policies to protect workers from any discrimination based on race, ethnicity, sex, age, sexual orientation, and gender identity. However, this gets tricky as based on the current situation in Malaysia, Suhakam considers the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community, which is also known as LGBT, as a taboo, which still results in discrimination across workplaces.
Thank you, Aidan. Now, although these are medium to long-term solutions, if Malaysia considers these supply-side policies, we may finally see their income gap shrink in the future. Viewers, what are your thoughts? Do let us know your ideas in the comments below and stay updated with our social media pages. Remember, we must work together to ensure the equitable distribution of wealth, opportunity, and power in our society. That's all from us today. This is Ayman, and you are watching TULC News. Have a good day.